Good evening. Today I have the lovely Martin with me, who is here to introduce himself. Hi, Martin. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sorry, can you say that again? Something flashed up on my screen just as you spoke to me.
You have to
I think
accept recording.
It. Yeah.
So I can't sneakily record you, which is
no.
Yeah, all your deep dark secrets will remain so.
That was a great start.
Yeah, as always, which just pretty much sets the tone. No, I'm joking. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me on this interview, Donna. We have spoke before on one of these, but this is for Trent's Tales on Trent, not Trent on Tales, Tales on Trent. But my name is Martin Tracey. I am an author from Birmingham, so not too far down the road, to be honest, from Stoke-on-Trent. It is a city I actually do know and love. My books are probably multi-genre, bit of everything, but they'll probably come out a little bit more as and when we talk.
Indeed. Have you always wanted to be a writer?
Yes, in a fashion. So I knew I was pretty good with words early doors, because I wrote a couple of stories when I was a little nipper at school, and they won national competitions. And I always had like that creative process. I can't draw. Got no art sort of expertise or skills, and maths as well. But I'm okay with words. But I guess my first passion was to, I wanted to be a pop star or a footballer. Footballer doesn't, unless I'm signing autographs, that wasn't going to happen. And anyway, I weren't good enough. It's got a long story short. Got quite close to the music business. So my writing sort of manifested in them days by writing lyrics and writing songs. So that was the creative process. And then it went full circle from when I won them sort of story competitions as a little boy. It kind of come full circle at the end of my musical career, if I can call it that, to then progress into writing novels. And it was that kind of everyone's got a book in them type thing. So I wrote one book, but as it is, I'm on my sixth now. Well, six in just in my name in terms of novels, but I've done like other projects like discographies and short stories and that kind of stuff.
And when you finished your music career, what made you decide to actually write a book that you wanted to go all the way and publish?
Yeah, I think it's still having the creative juices flowing, if I can put it that way. It's just something, my mind is quite active in terms of coming up with ideas and things. And so it just, after songwriting and music, it felt like, yeah, I'd like to tackle a book. I'm quite an avid reader anyway, and I admired authors and different stories I'd written. Back in that time, it was like your Stephen King's, Richard Laymon's, so more the horror genre. But Dan Brown really hooked me when he started to come out with Angels and Demons, and Da Vinci Code. I thought, yeah, I'd like to have a go at this myself. And so it's just that, really. It's just a bit of inspiration, I guess, from authors I admired. It just seemed like a natural progression to go from writing songs to writing books, really. Yeah.
And are you a full-time author?
No, I've got a day job, if that's what you meant. so I'm not a full-time author in that sense, but any author will tell you whether they have a day job or not. You don't switch off from it. You kind of are full-time because you're always on the job because of the way you might. In terms of sitting at the laptop and actually writing, that I mainly only do that on weekends. But like I say, the mind and the cogs and the inspiration for plot lines and that is constant. It never switches off. So.
And you said you've got 6 books, well, 6 novels. Yes. Do you have any to hand, or what are the titles?
I've got none to hand, so how badly prepared was that? But so I've written 5 and I'm on my 6th. So if I start with the Judd Stone series, which he's proved quite a popular character, so it was never meant to be a series, but because people liked him in the first book called Mind Gorilla, a series developed. So there's 3 of them currently published. Mind Gorilla, Club 27, which explores the 27 Club, which is lots and lots of pop stars unfortunately died at the age of 27. That's just a subject that's kind of always fascinated me. So the likes of Amy Winehouse, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, etc., Kurt Cobain. I wanted to weave a story around that. And because of the Judgestone series, it became something I felt I could weave a story around. So that was the second book in the Judgestone series. And basically the plot line is he's trying to prevent a 26-year-old pop star becoming the next Club 27 victim. Then the third one is Luna, which features past life regressions, because Judd has to try and solve an age-old mystery from the days of the Lunar Society. Those people who are not aware of the Lunar Society they'll be familiar with some of the names like Josiah Wedgwood, who made pottery in Stoke-on-Trent, funny enough. But Matthew Bolt and James Watt, they're basically this collection of entrepreneurs and really, really clever, learned people who became the Lunar Society because they shared their ideas and were quite inspiring and groundbreaking in some of their inventions and things from the Industrial Revolution. So I thought that's another thing I'd like to weave a story around. And then I'm working on my 4th Judgestone novel, which is called Double Fantasy. It's still early days in that, but Judd finds himself getting a little bit more embroiled in the darker side and the occult and witchcraft. So if you had to stick a label on me, which isn't easy to do with my books, you'd probably say I was dark fiction, you know. My other 2 books are standalone. Beneath the Floodlights, which is about vampires that merge with a football team. So a little bit different, but vampires, werewolves, all that sort of stuff, always interested me since a kid. And then the other book is another sort of horror story, if you call it that. It's a ghost story, it's a haunted house story. It's about a rock star who buys a haunted house in the Peak District, which is an area I love, and again, not too far from Stoke, actually. But that's called Things They'll Never See. And so in terms of my novels, that is the full collection to date.
And will this be your first signing event?
No, I've done quite a few. I've done one before in Stoke, funny enough, at the, I want to say the Moat House Hotel, I think it was called. That was about 2-3 years ago. I think one of the authors who is joining us at Trent's Tales on Trent, I keep getting that wrong around, Jen Thompson, I think she's on board with this one. So I know Jen from other signings as well, but she hosted that, and it is a very, very good one as well. I've done them in York, Edinburgh. I'm actually hosting one myself, co-hosting one with a couple of other authors, including Dawn Torrens and Andrew Spark and Lee Benson. So we're hosting, putting it together, similar format to Tales on Trent, but we're obviously hosting it in Birmingham rather than Stoke, and we've got about 70-80 authors there. So as I'm hosting one, it kind of gives you the correct impression that I really like these events. I really value them. I love the networking with different authors, people like yourself, and obviously the readers as well. Breaks down all them barriers, and we can just have a good old chinwag and chat, even if people don't buy your books. You know, it's they're good. They're good events. I like them. So I'll forever do them while they exist. These sort of events, as long as I'm welcome.
I'm sure you'll always be welcome. And are there any authors there you're particularly looking forward to meeting or seeing again?
I want to. It sounds corny, but it is true. I just want to meet everyone. You know, you connect with people on social media. We've all been through the pain of lockdown. So obviously, when I was doing some of these events before, it's been before lockdown. Some of the authors that I will reconnect with, who I know, like I said, Jen, I think she's on board. Martin Ferguson. Me and him shared a table once. I can't remember where it was, but it was an event. We shared a table at an event. But there's some people now I've got to know over social media, so I'll be meeting them face to face for the first time. So that'll be wonderful, just to meet everyone in person after how long have we had lockdown. So it'll just be a nice thing to do, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tales on Trent is first, isn't it, in May?
Yeah. May next year. Yeah. Our event's in July. The Birmingham one's in July, so there'll be a couple of months after. Yeah, we've coincided ours on purpose with the Commonwealth Games coming to Birmingham. So yeah, it seemed a good idea to have a bit of a celebratory event, if that's the real word, celebratory. Celebrating the event. Yeah. You know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch as well. I think Mitch Feeney. So she's another lady. I know. I mean, I apologise now if I've missed anyone out, because I've got lots of hope friends in the author world, but it's just remembering everyone. But I know Mitch. I think Mitch is going to try and catch a lift off me, actually, to go up to Birmingham, to Birmingham up to Stoke. So that's fine as well. But yeah, she's a good girl, Mitch. I've met her at a few different signings before as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do I have the feeling that you're going to be mischievous?
I don't know. Since a little boy, I've been mischievous, which is obviously a long time ago. But yeah, I don't know. Life's too short, innit? You got to have a laugh. As long as it don't hurt anyone too much. Then yeah, it's all. Yeah, it's good to just have a laugh, have a chat, have a chinwag.
Yeah, there's certain authors that we're thinking of keeping in opposite corners because we think you'll all egg each other on, and you're all trouble enough on your own, let alone getting together.
Yeah, right, fair enough. Okay, I get the vibe.
Yeah, just the impression, that's all. It's not up to me anyway, it's up to Claire. I just get to talk to
Claire, Claire. Yeah, so I know Claire's obviously someone I'll meet for the first time in person, but she's lovely, very supportive of us authors. The way I got to know about Tales on Trent is I did do a Zoom meeting, one of the Zoom meetings that, she has an author on and talks to the community that she hosts on the Zoom call. I think before lockdown, they actually used to physically meet as well. But then she put this Zoom thing. I hope I've articulated that correctly, because I wasn't aware of how it works before. But during lockdown, I think it was a bit of an outlet that us authors would come and talk to people, and they'd ask questions and that. So it's good. It's good. So that's how I got to know Claire and some of the people. The readers who will be attending, I think some of the readers who are attending, it'd be nice to meet them as well, because I'd chat with them over Zoom. So it'd be all good to meet up and say hello properly in the flesh, so to speak.
Yeah, it's called Tales on Tuesday.
Tales on Tuesday, that's it, yeah.
And it's run by a mental health charity, so Claire's a volunteer. And it's awesome, and I found it accidentally, but I love it and I wouldn't miss it. So
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And they gave me an award, bless them. I'm not the only author to get an award, I have to say that, but they did give me an award for and it was around, I can't remember the exact award title, but they'd done like a lampshade in the Luna cover, the cover of Luna, the book, and it was something for the something to do with the conspiracy theory side of it. That's what I got the award for. So that was grand. Yeah, that's good. That's pride of place in my living room.
Yeah, that's Matt. I guess I didn't see you there then. I guess it must have been before I joined.
No, it was quite early on in the lockdown days, I think. I think it was so it was 2020. So it's before I knew you, I think, Donna, to be honest.
The good old days, before everyone knew who I was.
I didn't say that.
Well, you're here, so I can't be that bad.
No. But for the second time as well. We've had an interview before, so yeah.
We have. Well, I don't have any more questions for you.
Okay.
But obviously this is for your takeover day, so you will be sharing loads of information about yourself. So
I
we
certainly
shall
will.
look forward to seeing what you get up to. And
Yeah.
we shall look forward even more to seeing you in Stoke.
Yeah, thank you. I look forward to doing my takeover, which is on the 1st of September, I believe. And then, yeah, I shall, as you say, it'll be great to do the takeover, part of the build up, and then connect with everyone in person at the event, which will be just supersonic. So fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good. Cheers, then, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.